Welcome back. It's your boy Dono.
And it's your girl C.
And this is the Winfrey Affair podcast. We are back for another episode. And it feels amazing.
It feels amazing.
And we got on our pink. I got on my feminine energy right now.
I don't need you making jokes about me coming into my feminine empowerment.
No, it's not that. I'm saying for me, you know, I'm wearing pink, so I felt like I'm gonna match you today. So
that's sweet. Okay, let's move on.
Sweet, yeah. So, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
That's great. I'm doing all right. Glad that you asked.
You're welcome.
Okay, no, I'm joking. All right, y'all. So I know y'all didn't come here for me to ask her how she's doing, even though I do that off the camera. Because it is important.
Every day.
And it actually builds.
Have you asked your spouse?
I mean, yeah. If you have it right now, pause it and then ask.
And ask your spouse, how was your day today? How were you
Fellas,
doing?
look, if she hit you with the... Just play
listen.
the video. Play the video.
You listen.
Don't
you
do
just
it.
Listen. That's what you do. You just listen. She don't need you to respond. She just needs to vent.
Yes. Yeah. And likewise. All right. So today's question topic is, can you hear me now? So my question is, why is it so hard to effectively communicate with your spouse? Why is it so hard to effectively communicate with your spouse? Ladies, listen to see.
Okay, so I don't know why I was thrown into the spotlight, okay? I was just going to say, as usual, like the last episode, don't forget to leave your answers down below. We want to start a conversation. We want to know what you're thinking, what your opinion is. What do you think is the main reason why, in marriages, communication is hard? Like, what are some of the things that are hard? So I think, for me, I think it goes back to belief systems.
Yeah.
Like how you grew up seeing people in your life who were parental figures or... it's like parental figures communicate in their life.
Yeah.
So whether or not it was a more passive communication where they always beat around the bush, or you have those who had a more aggressive way of communicating where they always wanted to fight. You had those who, instead of communicating, they just shut down and didn't deal with the problem whatsoever. There are different communication styles, and I think that it really just depends on how you grew up and what you were around in your childhood. You grow up and you associate that communication style with it either being good or it either being bad. So, for example, for me, I kind of got both ends of the spectrum. Yeah. I saw a good way to communicate and a horrible way to communicate. And the way that I saw that was like the best way to cope was to shut down. Yeah. That seemed to be the best way, where you weren't putting yourself into too much trouble and you weren't starting too much, but you were still just kind of like, To me, during that time when I first got married, that was the way that I would communicate, because that's what I saw. That's how I saw people communicate. We didn't address the problem. We just beat around the bush and we acted like it didn't happen. Like, that's just where we were with it. And of course, that's not the healthy way. There is, various forms of healthy ways to communicate. And there are dysfunctional ways to communicate as well. So we're going to jump a little bit deeper into that. So what about you, babe?
I think for me, I think a lot of times I think one of the reasons it is the way that it is it has to be like with the lack of self-control of their emotions, especially when there's like a disagreement or you're talking about something that doesn't have that does have like a lot of weight to it. So, for instance, example, when you're talking about finances, that was something we had to like hurdle like over. That was something we had to obviously address, be very direct. But we weren't perfect when we first started off from like how we are now. I don't know if you guys can see me. I feel like I just like right in my face. But what I would say about that is just like I think it's a lot of times just a lot of times emotions have to really be in check for
Mhm.
not just the woman but also the man as well.
Yeah.
That's why I said in the other video, like men be aware of your emotions but don't lead with emotions, because a lot of times you'll make the wrong decision. You'll be like, I shouldn't have done that, or shouldn't have communicated that way, or maybe I
Hmm.
shouldn't have said that. So it's like you have to be able to check yourself and hold yourself accountable, and responsible for the things that you want her to speak to you a certain way. You got to be able to speak to her a certain way. So yeah,
Absolutely.
so it's not like like no one can check you, or no one, like you just say whatever you want, and nah, what it that's not how we try to communicate. So yeah,
Right.
so I believe
Absolutely.
that's just like I say, it has to be some level of respect at the end of the day. So I think that's what kind of goes. I believe that's my answer to the question. It's just like I said, lack of self control, uh, establishing respect, and because I know I just be very transparent. I was very bad. I was very very bad at name calling. I was.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. So I was very
Oh
like
man.
name calling. Oh my gosh, like it got
And it
me.
wasn't. It wasn't like the name calling that you like.
Yeah.
Oh, you B or
No.
you. It wasn't. It wasn't
Nah.
even like that. It was more so
It
like.
was very creative. Every now and then, there's some goofies that be walking around. So
Oh
like,
man.
you a goof. I was like, but yeah, I believe that's what's stopping, or at least that's what's hindering the effectiveness of the communication. Because you know, when we're communicating, we want to be clear, we want to
Hmm.
be honest. I
I think
think that's
that's.
another thing too. I was about to jump into it.
Yep. Go
I
ahead.
think honesty is something that has to be taught to the person
Hmm.
and not for them to figure out themselves. So what I
Hmm.
mean by that is it shouldn't be that uh if I say, just go here, go here, go there, she knows to go to this specific store and grab this item. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh well, I just need you to do this and do that. And then if they do exactly what you do, then you get upset and be like, bro, like you gotta communicate to a way to where they're able to know how you feel, what you mean, what you say, so that they can follow through with that. If it's an order, or if it's a request, or if it's a suggestion, or whatever it is. So I think, like I said, honesty, being direct, being upfront, that has to be established in order for this thing to last. Because I mean, I believe you can last far as being passive aggressive, but eventually, a little dirt, if it's not attended to, could turn into like a little hill. So
A big hill.
a big hill on top of that. So I think that's what really stops, or at least I would say that's what hinders effective communication. What do you
I
think?
think another thing too, before you took my suggestion,
It's because we married.
um, I think another thing that I was thinking about when you were talking was also respect. Like, there's not, if you don't respect your spouse, then there's no possible way that you guys can communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because for one, you're going to be yelling over each other. You're going to not, like, when they say something to you, like, hey, this is how I feel, you're going to brush it off like it doesn't matter, which can create feelings of rejection
Yeah.
and bitterness and resentment
Mm-hmm.
and all of that stuff. So I just feel like if respect, it be to be clear, respect has to start with yourself first
I was just
as
about to
an
say that.
individual.
Yeah.
Like I can't just expect him to respect me and I don't even respect myself, because if I don't respect myself, I can't tell him what boundaries don't need to be crossed and what boundaries need to be set.
Yeah.
And hey, we're not going to do this with me. You're not going to do this with me, but we will do this. We can do this. We can do this. Because if you don't respect yourself, you can't set boundaries.
Mm.
And boundaries are basically another extension of respect.
Yeah.
So I think that if you don't respect your spouse, if there's no respect, there's no boundaries.
Yeah.
And
It's just
boundaries
yeah.
boundaries need to be set in a marriage. I don't care that
Drop a bomb right there.
nice sound effect, man. But there needs
Yeah.
to be boundaries in place
Right.
so that there can be respect and lines won't get crossed
Mm-hmm.
and feelings won't get hurt and things won't be said that shouldn't be said, and now you're arguing about something that has nothing to do with the topic that you were originally debating
Yeah.
about in the first place. So I think that that's one of the things, that's another reason why communication is not as effective as it
True.
should be, not only in a marriage but in a relationship, in just a friendship to friendship, business
Yeah.
to coworker.
And
It's respect. And
yeah.
I feel like a lot of, with, I keep saying it, with society, it seems like there is a lack of respect
Yeah.
for other people. I don't know what is happening,
Yeah.
but it just seems like there's no respect. I'm cussing you out. I'm
Yeah.
you. There's like no respect.
Yeah.
If you come in respecting yourself first, and you have value and
Mm-hmm.
morals and confidence in yourself as an individual first, then you have those boundaries. You have those boundaries. You can go to the next person and say, "Hey, this is what I stand for."
Yeah.
And they have two choices: either they're going to respect you and they're going to accept it, or they're going to reject it and disrespect you. And if they rejecting it and disrespecting you, you need to kick them on the corner, male or female,
Yeah.
whoever they are.
I mean, to piggyback off of that, I think a
I
lot
just
of
went on
times,
a
yeah,
tangent.
I know, yeah, she's
Daughter.
amazing, amazing, amazing. But I think to piggyback off that as well, I think there's a way to accept someone, but reject the idea of someone as well.
Mm,
So just because, and I think that's so absolutely, and you see that now because I don't know where we got to a point to where if we say, hey, I like this, you're basically now saying, "Oh, I hate that, but I
yeah.
love this." Like, I think a lot of times, like I was saying earlier, I think it has something to do with like emotions. I think it has something to do with like just a lack of self control, and like you was talking about earlier, like the respect, having boundaries, um, which is really great. So another question that I had, and it came to my mind earlier today, I was thinking, women communicate totally different from men,
Absolutely.
and men communicate totally different from women.
Absolutely.
How important is it that, is it, this is my question, is it good to build your foundation of your relationship based on agreement?
No. No. Absolutely not.
Explain why.
Because what's going to happen when you have a disagreement?
Mm-mm.
Is your foundation going to crumble because you don't, like, let's say you like the color red, I like the color blue, okay?
Which is
And
facts.
I don't like the color red.
It is,
I like pink.
we praying on that. We
I
gonna
like
pray.
pink. I like pink, pink, pink,
Beep,
pink,
beep,
pink.
beep, 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 beep,
I like all things
beep.
pink. Okay.
Yes.
Um, what's gonna happen when I say, or what, like, I don't like your color.
Yeah.
Is the whole entire relationship gonna break down because of that?
Some people.
Because I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna be as honest as possible. Yes, majority of the time we are on one accord,
Mm-hmm.
but about a good 60 to
For real.
60% of the time
We
we
are
don't
we
agree.
do not agree.
We don't agree on everything. And what we do is what is it called? I agree to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where compromise comes in.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If you're getting married to somebody who is just like you, imagine how boring
Oof.
that marriage is going to be,
Mm-hmm.
because you're only thinking from your own perspective. The very beauty of marriage, the very beauty of marriage is difference.
Mm.
You have a different outlook,
Yeah.
somebody who has a different viewpoint,
Yeah.
somebody who sees the world from a different lens,
Yeah.
and that creates so many different opportunities
Right. Right.
to explore different sides of
True.
literally everything.
Yeah.
If you're getting married just to find somebody who's just like you, then you shouldn't get married.
Nah.
Because I'll tell you this, God only made one you
Mm-hmm.
with your personality. You may have some people with similar things, but that's not what marriage is. Marriage is not just for you to be on agreement every single day of the week. And if you're building it off of that,
Yeah.
then I don't know what to tell you, because at some point, y'all gonna disagree on something.
Yeah.
Whether it be how to raise your kids,
Mm-hmm.
how to go about finances,
Mm-hmm.
how to look at certain things, how to shop for
What you
groceries.
expect from one of each other. Yeah.
Yep, your
So yeah.
expectations,
Yeah.
your reality, all of
Mm-hmm.
that stuff, how you view family,
Yeah.
how you view jobs. And
How you view family.
why are you yelling?
I just wanted to just put that in there. Sorry. Go
But yeah, like,
ahead.
it's different, and that's the beautiful thing about it
Yeah.
is that marriage is different. So yeah,
Yeah. It's, that's that was a great answer.
thank you.
I have another question. I was like, but no, I think if I was to answer my question, I also do believe it is not you. It is okay to disagree,
Mm-hmm.
but just as long as it's not disrespectful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, like I said, what she was saying earlier about establish, if you have respect for yourself, you won't disrespect anyone else because you even know, okay, maybe I'm crossing the line.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have enough awareness, you have enough, you have the ability to see, like, okay, maybe I probably shouldn't have said. And you know when you're saying something wrong because there's a thought that come to your mind right before you about to say it. You be like,
Absolutely.
you know what? Let me think about this because, like I said, there have been plenty of times where just being transparent, like where I wanted to respond to a thing or I wanted to bring up a thing, and maybe it was the Holy Ghost, maybe it was the Holy Spirit, maybe it was intuition or whatever it was, or maybe it was just common sense. It
Common
was just
sense.
common sense. Okay, my hand just did that, but it stopped us from having like that conversation. Now,
Unnecessary
unnecessary conversations
conversations.
because it's
Yeah.
like, and a lot of times it's just like that call or response, like
It's a tick for tack.
yeah, it's just like, would you do, like, yeah. It At the end of the day, it's really not getting you nowhere. Honestly, at this point, we need to be about outcomes and opportunities, results.
And
That's the thing.
solutions.
That's what matters at this point. I mean, obviously, yes, process only makes sense as long as we're progressing.
Absolutely. Ooh, that was
Like, I
good.
mean, was it?
That was
That was.
good.
I'm low key a rapper. I
There
will
you
never
go.
be a rapper though.
You just
But
took it that far. You just had to go there.
but yeah, honestly, I know I just had to go there. But like, just on a serious tip, seriously, I believe it's okay if if you don't agree with your spouse and everything. It's totally fine. Like what are some things that we don't disagree on?
That we don't disagree on,
That
or
we
that
do disagree on. How about that? Yeah, that we do disagree on.
it's a lot. Bedtimes.
Yeah,
Are we being serious, or are we just being like
I
just
mean, like
anything?
it could be anything.
Anything.
Like
Oh, absolutely bedtimes.
I wake
Times
up
we
early.
wake up. He wakes up mad early.
Got to.
And I cannot stand it
Yeah,
whatsoever. He cleans the house a certain way, and I clean the house a certain way.
yeah.
Going out, we have different. I love to hang out. He's not really one that likes to
Pray
hang
for my
out.
wife, y'all. Y'all know this pandemic is just hurting all the extroverts out there.
I love to go out. I love to hang out. I love to have friends. Like,
Yeah,
there are a lot of things that we disagree on.
yeah,
Recently, those have been a few of the things that we've
yeah,
been disagreeing on.
yeah. I think it's probably the same for me. Like
Hmm.
just me waking up early. I used to get on her about waking up early, especially on like the weekends when we
Sunday,
have Sundays.
Sunday,
Oh, I used to hate being late for church.
Sunday.
I'd be like, babe, I gotta open up the doors of church. Come on now. Have your hair done at a certain time. I want to get there before everybody's there. You know what I mean? Like, I like to do that. But it'd be late. But eventually, I learned how to compromise. Be like, hey, you know what? How about this? How about I get you ready? Not me get you ready, but let me get this in order, get this together so that you can do this on this day. So when you wake up, boom, you already got this taken care of. Compromise. It's like, it's not just like, oh, only one person does something and the other person does completely
It's
nothing.
it's both. It's a,
You got
a
to give and take.
mutual decision
All right.
to make a action.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. So, last question. Yes, my last question. Last question. I know.
Our time is up.
I got one more question.
Our time is up.
But I got one more question. I said that. I'm joking now. So yeah, our time is up right now. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment, share,
Hit that notification
hit the
bell.
notification. I mean, ding it.
Ding.
Ding it. You'll be able to get all the videos that come up, and they will be releasing every Saturday, 12 p.m. Central Time, which will be 1 o'clock Eastern Time. And we still have not found out what time that will be for Pacific. I'm so sorry for the Pacific people. We're gonna find a way to help y'all out. I'm sorry.
Man.
But yeah, we're gonna do that.
And also, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
Both titled The Winfrey Affair.
Winfrey Affair.
And also, if you want to follow us on YouTube, this is the Winfrey Affair podcast, but we also have a different channel, our vlogging channel called Vlogging with the Winfreys.
Vlog.
So go ahead over there and subscribe to that. We're so happy that you joined us today, and we hope to see you next Saturday.
Peace.